up, we have a talk by Ramesh Panchagnula from Disney Hotstar on the topic Media Tech Innovations for an Enhanced Streaming Experience. Ramesh is a seasoned technology leader with over 20 years of experience in media processing and streaming across the US and India. Currently overseeing video R&D at Disney plus Hotstar, he drives the tech and product vision for large-scale live and on-demand events, managing back-end systems for major sports events like IPL, ICC World Cup, the English Premier League, achieving a record-breaking 59 million peak concurrent viewers. Previously, Ramesh served as the Director of Emerging Video Technologies at Next VR in California, where he led NBA live streaming in stereoscopic VR and pioneered augmented and mixed reality experiences, collaborating with tech giants like Apple, Meta, and Sony. Earlier at Aris Motorola, he spearheaded encoding and streaming product development. Ramesh holds a graduate degree from the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in image and video compression and has several video patents and publications to his name. Thank you, Ramesh, and over to you.
Thank you, everyone. It's great to be here. Thanks, Krishna, for the intro. I'd like to, in this presentation, I'd like to take you over some of the deep tech innovations that my team at Hotstar has brought on the video and media processing, delivery and playback stacks, and for an enhanced on-demand experience, as well as differentiated sports experiences that we brought for the cricket audiences. So when we talk about OTT and innovation, it's important to understand who we are innovating and what are the user cohorts and business models. Enough has been talked about, but I'm sure we all agree that India is a AVOD dominant market with marquee sports, cricket properties being free on mobile. So AVOD has a lion's share. But it's also important to recognize that there is equal focus in terms of revenue and monetization and the growth. If you look at the pie that's growing here, there needs to be equal focus on the paid content consumers as well as the free consumers that we are seeing here. So the trend will be AVOD will be dominant, but you got to focus on both. Specifically on the UGC content, it's estimated that 3 in 4 viewers in 2025 will be consuming short form. So that's a trend that we have seen, and it's here to stay. So with all of this, we have to recognize this and adapt and build and innovate towards this. Now let's talk about this India streaming landscape, so that we are, there is appreciation to the type of challenges and the variety and diversity that we have to cater to. So if you look at the India streaming market, I'm sure we all recognize that on-the-go entertainment is a majority, and we have to solve for over 50% of the users that are consuming content on mobile networks and specifically on mobile data. So on low-end devices. So when we talk of low-end devices, we are talking about a significant share with devices less than 4 GB RAM and users on networks ranging from Wi-Fi, 5G to anything in between the 3Gs and even 2Gs, right? So we are talking about a spectrum of network speeds ranging from 200 kbps to 20 plus Mbps and so on. So there is so much diversity that you have to cater to, and at scale that you got to make sure all of your innovations that you're planning to is solving for these users. On top of all of this, there is the significant data sensitive cohort of users that are on the FUP plans, which have a 1 GB data limit, right? So that makes the data saving and making sure your optimal on to the content delivery super important. So the focus is very clear. How can you be leaner on the wire while delivering higher quality offerings? Looking at the CTV space, so when we talk about CTV, it's primarily the premium subscribers. Over here also we see a lot of diversity in terms of the devices that we have to cater to, right from your 4K, Dolby Vision, HDR OLEDs, all the way to FHD LEDs running with connected set-tops, running archaic OS. So there is a large variance here as well in terms of capabilities and what we can deliver to. If you look at this chart on the left, just on Android TV alone, there are over 500 variations of device families, and more on Tizen and WebOS put together. And if you include the OS major and minor versions, that is going to blow up the combinations. So there is a lot of diversity, and you need to make whatever innovations you're talking about, media formats or smart models, they got to work across all of these devices for a buttery, smooth, and flawless streaming experience. So with that goal, let's look at the Disney Hotstar streaming experience and how we have evolved. Since video encoding is at the heart of the streaming experience, I'll take you over how we have evolved over the codec space in the last 4 years. 2020 was an AVC era where AVC, as you all know, is a 20-year-old standard, been there when it was born. And there was a clear need to optimize on the compression efficiency from there on. And so came HEVC, and we adopted, migrated, and rolled out most of our eligible users on HEVC. After that, the focus was how can we customize and make sure our delivery and encoding is catered to our user base and our business models. So it's more of how can we adapt the core encoding to be able to be delivering experience that is tailored, and how can we make sure the consumption is also efficient and make sure we are in line with what the users can consume on all of these networks that we talked about. All of this happened while we were breaking records with cricket concurrency, and so there's a need to push the envelope there. So we introduced live enhancers, which are smart media processors, you can call, for various use cases. I'll talk about them a bit into the presentation. So looking at the future, there is more to grow, of course, with the likes of AV1 and more R&D initiatives. So getting into a bit deep into how we approach encoding, we talked about customizing and tailoring. So how do we do that? So we built an in-house framework that is operating at a layer over and above the standard codec optimization space. So we came up with several models that are user-centric and that are aligned with the content catalog and business model. So this is sort of our IP into this, where we recognize what are the users we are serving, what is the content catalog, and the technical side and the business side of it. Right. So the models that we have built are context-aware systems that look at and adapt to user habits and consumption patterns. In fact, we even launched a press release recently that we talked about this as to how we are enabling users to save download and streaming sizes up to 25% without any loss of quality. So this means that users can watch longer within a given data pack. So watch time per GB, which is a metric that we track, it tells you how lean and efficient you are on the wire, is improved with this. So with all of these initiatives, let's look at how we have fared over these years. If you look from the bottom chart of the average bit rates from 2020 to now, with all of these optimizations and initiatives on HEVC and adaptive encoding and core optimizations and many more, which I probably can't share, we have seen that the average bit rates have gone down by 65%, which is a huge number considering the scale that we operate. All of this while the quality as measured by VMAF, which is the de facto standard for objective measurement, has actually increased, and we have made sure this aligns with the subjective quality assessments also. So this is a testament as to how all of these models that we are working towards and the North Star of delivering higher quality video at lower bit rates is actually panning out for us and for our users. So far we have talked about on the server side and stream side optimizations and how we can do smart decisions. But at the end of the day, the end user experience is what matters, right? So we have to understand how our users are consuming content. As you can imagine, users spend most of the time watching video on our platform as opposed to homepage browsing and search. So it's super important again that we get a good handle on what is our user behavior, consumption experience, playback quality, QoS and QoE. So to that extent, we built our own homegrown platform called Argus that collects the heartbeat data and playback session statistics to give us meaningful and actionable insights. So we leverage Argus to get a lot of insights. And when we talk of playback quality, we are actually talking about user-centric quality as opposed to they have encoded with a certain quality and we are good. No, user-centric quality means that we are looking at what is across the scale, how is this being received or played out or consumed. So we have quality metrics at session level that can be aggregated and form macro and micro insights. So you can actually pan out and get a zoomed out experience as well as zoom into particular sessions and figure out what may be going wrong with certain streaming sessions and users, right? So measure, improve, and rapidly iterate. That's the key here. And since we operate at such a large scale, across all of these networks and across 26 markets worldwide, there is a great need to figure out, is our playback stack on the client optimized with respect to the ABR models and the bandwidth estimation models that run on them. So we have invested and researched on that front as well, where we try to see what are the options or what are the improvements that we can bring to the table with respect to each of these components that are in the playback stack. And to do that, as some of you may know, it's all great, but when it comes to client releases, it takes weeks of adoption and a few more weeks of running A/B tests. So it's not a rapid and iterative process. So we figured out a smarter way of doing this, where we are able to capture network traces and heartbeat data from users and be able to run an end-to-end quality of experience simulation. Like you can run, say 20,000 hours of playback in 20 minutes and figure out exactly what the buffering and playback quality and experience was for that particular session and for users. So this is a super powerful tool that we built and leverage to iterate rapidly to come up with our own in-house proprietary ABR model. And this gave us 45% improvement in playback performance, which is again a significant task. So this is a replacement to what the open source gives us by default. Let's switch gears and talk about live sports for a bit. When we talk about live sports at scale, there is a need for making sure your resiliency when a feed goes down, that users can be directed to, say, another language for temporary basis, or even better, if depending on the scale of the event, can you deliver a higher quality to your users and be more dynamic and nimble. To do that, we approach this through a content steering way, where we have our own, say, a novel approach of doing this. When I talk about content steering, it's not the traditional way of routing it through a proxy server and through a standard protocol, but more of leveraging our in-house server-side ad insertion stack to repurpose this. Essentially, what we are doing is we are able to steer live sessions to alternate content, and we can have cohorts of users steer to another content, which could be another language, could be another quality, whatever. So there's a fine-grained control that we can leverage, and this is happening through a manifest stitching as opposed to traditional content steering. It was designed for the T20 World Cup 24, so it's designed for like you said, 59 million scale, and it has multiple other advantages to how efficient and seamless this can happen. To enhance live cricket viewing experience, like I said, we had to come up with multiple features around the constraints, of course, while operating at scale. One of the features that we launched is the Premium HD. With the rise of proliferation of 4K TVs, we saw the need to deliver a higher quality of experience through in-house ML-based upscaling that gets you a more better subjective quality as opposed to a full HD being displayed on a 4K TV. This actually panned out again well for us. We got significant improvement. We measure this through what the standard way of mean opinion scores, MOS, and we saw significant improvement with MOS scores with this feature. And users actually noticed during the warm-up matches, and they were excited to watch 4K on Disney Hotstar. So World Cup 23 happened in India, and as many of you know, the conditions with respect to fog and pollution make the source feed not so clear. So there is a need to make sure you deliver a sort of a cleaned up experience to our users. So we implemented again a custom enhancer, a filter or feature called Dehazer. This runs live, and so that you can actually intelligently adapt to making sure your picture quality is optimal, and there is a clear subjective improvement when you do this. And again, this is measured, the efficacy of this measured through MOS scores and subjective blind tests, and more than 85% of the users across all the platforms on consumption devices reported positive feedback from this. In fact, our predictions came true when there was a match, India-New Zealand in Dharmashala, that got stopped due to fog, and this got us a chance to actually evaluate how efficient and valuable this feature was. If you look here, on the top is the source feed that's coming in, and the dehaze feed that we sent to users is at the bottom right. So a clear improvement and value that we delivered here. So another feature, we also work with ICC in collaboration to launch vertical live cricket. We branded it as MaxView. That gives an experience where you are closer to the action, more immersive, as well as you can consume multiple views in a single and in a way that can easily be handled on a mobile. So this feature again got us good traction with more than 1 in 3 viewers adopting MaxView and receiving pretty good appreciation from our users with this innovative feature. We had to invest in specialized sports production and conversion of the workflows for horizontal to vertical, as well as tune all of the end-to-end stack, whether it's encoding or ad insertion, to make sure cricket in this fashion is as enhancing the quality as well as giving you the immersion that's needed within all of the other constraints that we operate with. So in summary, innovation at this scale means that you got to customize and cater to many segments, and that is possible only through deeper investigations and making sure what are your user cohorts and how do you target, and making sure your solutions are scalable and also adaptable to these. So on the media tech stack, we build proprietary IP into how we customize and tailor experiences, and we continue to push the envelope on that. Playback quality experience build deeper insights into what really quality means for our users, and get meaningful insights and actionable metrics that we can act upon. So like I mentioned, the ABR model that we built worked around the device and network and other constraints, network timeouts and buffering, etc., and optimize the overall experience. Again, the mantra here is user focus, measure, experiment, and innovate, like rinse and repeat. On content steering, we designed a custom approach for live sports, but really it can be used for any other content as well. It's a generic and a novel approach. On the live sports, we have launched experiences with live enhancers, super resolution, live dehazing, and max view. But these are only to name a few. The possibilities are endless when you want to leverage these and bring about differentiated experiences. That's it. Thank you. Hopefully this was insightful. Thank you, everyone.